Hi, this is Mike Moo from Hipaa Watchdog, your virtual Hipaa compliance officer. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the latest threat that has been popping up again. So it's yet another version of ransomware. Now, this version is actually quite a bit more sophisticated. It goes to show that these hackers have smelled the blood in the water and are now sending out attacks in the form of phishing attacks. And what's a phishing attack? Well, a phishing attack, they send out emails that are targeted. In this particular variant, they're carefully crafted user-specific email that contains links and your own personal information. So these hackers get this database of information, they purchase it on the black market, and they have your information, possibly including your address, your email, and other personal details, and which they put in a carefully crafted email message on behalf of a company that you may have done business with. So in one example, when I talked about the Hipaa ransomware example, where they send out that, I have a package coming and please check it out. And it asked me to open up a PDF. So you can check out that email. This version that is shown here on ZDNet shows an example of an email message where it says that they're looking to collect a certain amount of money and that you can find the invoice by clicking that link. And then they will also have your address. So valid address or a business address. So everything kind of tends to look a little bit more legit. Of course, once you go ahead and click it, it's almost game over again. Now this one doesn't work quite as fast as the Petya one, but it works a little bit differently. And it's now been called on the net as a beautiful and dangerous version. So here on Malwarebytes Labs, there's an official security blog where they talked about this on March 24th. And it's called Maktub Locker. It's actually an Arabic word. Someone said that there's actually some thought behind the name of it. And they give you some behavioral analysis on how this works. And they could either send you attachments via email, so you don't actually have to be connected to the internet to get infected with this. Once you downloaded the email, you double-click the file. As you can see, it'll open up possible document icons like this, so such as this Adobe document. And what happens is it spoofs legitimate behavior, and it displays a document that looks like this. So it's a fake document. So meanwhile, while you're looking at this fake document that it opens up, it's busy starting to create a list of files that it's going to encrypt on your computer. So it looks for particular files. Usually they're office documents or pictures, like high priority items, and it actually creates a list and then compresses the files first and then starts the encryption process. So I'm gleaning all this information from malwarebytes.org, and you can go and check it out. Speaking of which, I don't have any affiliation with Malwarebytes or ZDNet or Bleeping Computer where I get this information. This is all important information, though, and I trust these companies because I've used them for many years, decades actually, for removing malware. So the people there know their stuff. So this is the picture that you get. It actually then, after it's done sifting through your documents and creating that list of documents that it's going to encrypt, it encrypts it and then sends out this HTML page, which will then open up as on your web browser that tells you that your stuff has been encrypted. It actually uses polite language, proper spelling, and all this just to help to encourage you to go ahead and pay them via Bitcoin with the proper key that then you just copy to your clipboard and you send it through a Tor browser. Now, if you go to their website, they actually have a nicely designed website, actually. So they took the time and effort to do all this. So it explains what's going to happen. They say that they're very sorry the stuff is encrypted and that there's really no real way to restore them. And pretty much you lose everything. Okay. Now, if you're watching this now, it's probably a good idea to check out my webinar that's happening or in our next webinar Wednesdays about backing up your data. Right. Backups are really important, but backups also remain the only #1 way to always be able to get your data back. regardless of what kind of ransomware that gets hit out or whatever ransomware flavor of the week or the month that comes out. Clearly, they have professionals working on this. So it also comes with a demonstration, and they'll give you two freebies that you can upload, or actually they'll give you two freebies to prove that they can decrypt your stuff. So they give you two of them, and you can then choose whatever two, or actually they will choose two of them that they will just allow you to download after you tell them what it is that you want. So you copy your key into their server, and then they allow you to go ahead and get the keys to unlock your files. Just the two of them. And then the rest of it, of course, they'll tell you roughly how much they're going to go ahead and charge you. And they'll let you know what price it will be if you wait too long to do it. So during the first 3 days, they do 1.4 Bitcoins, which is approximately $588. They even give you a whole ransom conversion to your own locale, so you know roughly how much things will cost if you sit on it, right? They do further analysis on here. What's pretty interesting about this is also the behavior of the ransomware actually does a lot of good, high-quality cloaking so that typical malware won't be able to find it very easily, or malware that is not designed to look for these type of signatures. So if you're the first ones that get it right off the bat, you're just going to get it for the most part. Most anti-malware, anti-cryptware aren't going to be able to detect any of this stuff. So you'll be one of the unlucky few, hopefully unlucky few, if not hundreds out there that get this before the code gets sent out to an organization such as Malwarebytes or Bleeping Computer as such, and where we have engineers go in there to figure it out, to go ahead and figure out a way to stop it. So there's some more technical details in here. One thing that I found pretty interesting is there's actually code in there to tell it that if it figures out that your computer or your system is actually Russian, it actually won't attack it. So, you know, people right now that are Russian aren't getting hit with this type of attacks, or if you have Russian keyboard installed on your computer system, you actually will not get attacked. It will just leave your system alone. But you know, there's more technical details that you can find out about this on malwarebytes.org at this link. And you can read out more about it also on Bleeping Computer, where they give you a few more screenshots, which is where Malwarebytes got this from. So it even tells you exactly step by step what you need to do to go ahead and decrypt your stuff. So again, the number one thing you want to make sure you do is that you have great backups of your system. You store them offline and follow those great backup rules. So you should check it out on our other webinar section. Come visit us during our webinars. We'll show you how to do it. It's not rocket science, but there is method, and it works out pretty well. All right, I hope this video was useful to you, and hopefully you don't get hit with Maktub Locker. And if you have any suspicious emails, you know what? Don't open them. Especially even if it's from a company you think you know, because that's what they're doing these days. They're sending it out from hacked companies and hacked email lists and information with your personal private information out there to go ahead and trick you to go ahead and double-clicking or opening that document or clicking that link so that you get hit with this, and they can easily make out with an easy several $100s in Bitcoin. Don't be one of those statistics. All right. I'll catch you in the next video, and be safe. Don't open up anything that you don't trust, and make sure you do those backups. I'll catch you in the next video.